I like a young guy getting to watch an older guy a lot. And I guess that's not really a thing anymore because it's the instant gratification. Hey, we just drafted this. Like, for instance, Trey Lance is balling out at camp. There are videos surfacing on the internet of Trey Lance over there absolutely slanging that thing. Yeah. And I had no idea that was his upside, that he had incredible accuracy, dropping balls literally into buckets for guys. This one, okay. I could have made that pass.
Right.
This one. Then there's this one inside of what? Levi's or whatever, Wranglers, whoever it is, Levi's Field out there. They got kicked out of that stadium last year. They had to go play in Arizona. They had a bunch of guys with COVID. They had a bunch of broken foots. I mean, last year they had the odds stacked against them mightily. And Trey Lance is just dropping balls onto pins at this point. And they said, John Lynch and Shanahan, Jimmy G's our starter, and then we'll kind of take it as we go. They're also saying Jimmy G's playing better than he's ever played in the past. Is that to potentially stir up some chum for the trade conversations to get Jimmy because of how good Trey Lance is playing? We're not 100% sure, but Trey getting to watch Jimmy act like a starter off the field, in my eyes, is worth a lot more than what the first couple games of Trey Lance is going to cost him long-term if he wasn't to play. I just think, like, if Andrew Luck, who was so good, immediately so good at football, if he could have watched Peyton for 1 year, 2 years, whatever the case. I mean, Aaron watched Brett for 3 years, okay, which is a long time. That would never happen nowadays, by the way. And I don't think, by the way, going back
with Jordan Love, but that's the only other,
Yeah, exactly. But who knows what Jordan Love? Right. And by the way, they'll probably try to trade for him because now we're in a world where it's like, hey, we're going to move. But if Andrew could have watched Peyton for just like 6 weeks. Impossible with how much money Peyton was owed to have, and they wouldn't have been able to make it happen. And who knows how Peyton would have felt about it, which is a massive ordeal. But let's just say, like, Peyton was in on it. Yeah, we're cool. We'll do this. And it was a full harmonic situation. And Peyton, by the way, might not be on it because that first-round pick that's spent on Andrew Luck, we would never have the pick if Peyton was going to play. So this is a completely hypothetical. But if Andrew could have watched Peyton for like 1 year for the off the field, and I'm not talking, Andrew's work ethic was unbelievable. His study was amazing. But the way he can, like, hey, you can go tell equipment managers who you are good friends, like, hey, I want this to go this way. You can tell your coach, hey, I want this to go this way. You can tell the GM, hey, I like this whenever it's this way. Like, I think that would have been huge for Andrew. I think in everything. Andrew, from what I've been told, as he got older, after I retired, he did start becoming a little bit more. And I think that is maybe because the organization was like asking him, like, hey, we need you to be a part of these decisions, which is awesome, by the way, just like in Green Bay kind of going through there. But I think that could have been watching how to be a starter in the NFL with grown-ass fucking men and a lot of money. I think that is a very valuable thing to happen. And I don't know if it'll happen with Trey. I don't know if it'll happen with Justin Fields. But I don't think it's bad for them long-term, even though the fans are going to want to see them quick because if they start losing especially, and we drafted them high. But I think those types of things off the field are a big deal.
I think it was a quote that come out that said, or Trent Williams said, like, hey, just watching this guy from a couple days or however long we've been, like, you can see he could be a generational talent. Do you think, like,
Patrick Mahomes watched Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Right.
The whole year.
Do you think guys are saying that kind of stuff if they don't actually, like, oh, okay, this guy's going to be a dude? Like, they know, right? They're not just, like, blowing smoke up a guy's ass to the media just to be doing it, especially when you already have a guy like Jimmy G in place to start.
Yeah, there's a way to answer every question, right? And whenever there's a way to answer that question without burying Trey Lance, if he's not as good as everybody else, while still putting him over. Putting him over means speaking in good light for. It's a wrestling term, basically. Hey, put over. But it's something we use a lot. People probably don't understand it. It's really a great definition on how people speak about somebody.
Sure.
You can still put somebody over without saying something like that, so I think it's real.
Okay.
You know, like whenever you see like how somebody says, oh, he's a hard worker, he's good, he's in there, it's like, okay, so maybe there's some questions in there. But for saying like, oh, this is potential generational talent, I think that, especially with him, he feels that way because there is no reason to say that type of thing unless you actually believe it. And by the way, with the videos we're watching, unless he just stinks every other ball and these are just anomalies, I mean, he's fucking dropping buckets. And Shanahan's offense, he can move. He can throw. They said he's smart as hell, right? That was one of the things John Lynch and Shanahan said about it, is how smart he is. This Niners team is loaded. If Jimmy G plays how Jimmy G normally plays, they're going to win a lot of games. Mm-hmm. But if Jimmy G happens to potentially take a step back or get injured, and then Trey Lance comes in and just dominates, I mean, that Niners team is a problem in a division that is a problem.
Right.
But that team, I think everybody's looking at what they did last year and forgetting about all the bullshit that happened off the field to the Niners and why they potentially went and got a new quarterback, and now they have a stadium back. That team could be good. Justin Herbert, though, he did get thrusted in there earlier, I assume, than Telesco and everybody thought he was going to, and he did very well. But he at least got some time to see Tyrod Taylor operate as a starter. Like, it's just a different world whenever everybody's making, money, and there's livelihoods on the line, and there's high football IQ from the players as well as not just the coaches of the front office. It's a different world whenever you're a starting quarterback for multi-billion-dollar team and you're the face of a franchise. It's just not as easy as everybody could imagine, I think. And then if you get a chance to at least witness somebody do it, that's massive.